Brakati Yahawah, Brakati Yahushai, Brakati Yahawah, Brakati Yahushai, Brakati Yahawah, Brakati Yahawah, Ba'Hashem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Chakudash. That belongs to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone True Well. I want to say salutations to the hopeful elect out there, you Akim to Sadakim that do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. I'm the priest Shaman, and this week's topic, I'm going to be entitled it, He's even trying to time travel for the birthright. He's even trying to time travel for the birthright. And this is inspired by a video I watched. I've been getting into these like scientific stuff. Spirit just had me looking at some science stuff, right? We deal with the time dilation in one lesson. This lesson, they literally, scientists and physicists among Esau is looking into time travel, which, according to the scriptures, that is something that was done, right? Wherein the Lord, during the time of Isaiah, brought time backwards, right? He brought the clock back. And there was another scenario where Moses froze time, right, by holding the sun in place. And the scriptures tell us that the sun and the moon will be given us, for seasons and situations like that. It deals with time, the stars and everything. And another situation too is you had a Habakkuk, which is able to travel through space and time, what Esau calls a wormhole, meaning an angel snatched up Habakkuk, right? Snatched up Habakkuk by his locks and brought him to Daniel. So that's an instance we're seeing of traveling through space and time. So this is far out things, what Esau would call like far out science or something like that. But it's with the angelic host, it's far more spiritual than that. You just in layman's terms they call it like magic or some sort of, because they can't explain, why. For example, the scriptures tell you that, the sun is the one that's coming around the planet Earth, a geocentric universe. But science, most scientists would say that we live in a heliocentric universe, that the Earth is spinning around the sun, which is false. The sun is, the scriptures tell you, the sun is the one that hastens, and they observe it, like, the star rises in the east and set in the west. Like, they left the telescope in a specific part of the world, and you can literally see like the stars and everything just moving around the world. And it is indeed the center, because the book of Genesis, the first chapter, tells us that the earth was created before the sun and the moon, right? So just like when you drawing a book, you start at the middle of the canvas, right? Or paint, you start in the middle. So the earth is the center of the universe, and scientists are trying to but the sun is bigger. Okay, it could be bigger, but who's to say it's not more hollow? But anyways, let's not go too crazy off tangent. All right, so the so-called white man is looking into time travel. These physicists are looking into time travel, and one of the things that they're trying to do is, in theory, all right, theoretically, they did like equations to say, look, if we speed up this atom to the speed of light, if we speed up this particle to the speed of light and have them bombard, they could create this, I forgot the word that they used, some sort of like energy field, or some sort of energy is dissipated that creates like miniature like black holes or wormholes or some shit like that. And through that, you could then like manipulate things through time, They're trying that shit, man. They're trying their hardest to go back in time, and it all goes back to the birthright. The birthright that was given to Jacob, right? It was given to Jacob, which is the kingdom. Esau bawled and wept because what happened was, the firstborn son gets the birthright, right? But Jacob supplanted Esau for not just the birthright, but the blessing of the firstborn, right? So the first time was when he sold the birthright, as it says in the book of Hebrews. Fornicator or profane person is Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. So he gave the birthright over to Jacob when he came from the field hungry. And sorry, I'm quoting a lot of scriptures because I'm driving and was quoting, but I do have a scripture I want to bring out for the title of the lesson. He gave the birthright, he sold it, to Jacob when he was hungry and famished, because he's a carnal man. He said, what this birthright is going to do for me. And you can see Esau is a very carnal individual. The so-called white man, very carnal, not spiritual at all. So, he's like, I'm hungry now, so fuck it. What's that birthright going to mean to me? But Jacob was spiritual. Jacob saw the spiritual significance of having that firstborn birthright blessing. So he gave it over to Jacob. And eventually, the Spirit got on Rebecca to come up with a scheme. And Jacob, right, when Isaac, their father, was elder in age and sort of losing his sight a bit, to just put on the guise and a ruse that he was Esau to get the blessing. And he did. And when this came to Esau, this knowledge came to Esau, he was frustrated to the point that he wanted to kill, he wanted to cry, he was emotional. He eventually got the blessing of the fatness of the earth. The suck of these Edomites are on top. And he also got the blessing of the sword, hence their technology and instruments of destruction they formulate. But he was not given the blessing of the kingdom, which is promised to the Israelites, which are the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. So he's been doing everything to try to get that birthright. And one thing they're not trying. They do everything, from making our people sin, to say, to try to blame us in front of the Father. That's why he's a devil or accuser of the brethren. And if possible, go back in time and change that very outcome. But here's the thing, though. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 24. The Lord of hosts has sworn, saying, surely as I have thought, so shall it come to pass. So the Most High has predestined everything to happen. Everything to happen. So even though the so-called white man could read scriptures and say, wait a minute, the Lord brought the sun back. Wait a minute, Moses held time still. Habakkuk, he was able to travel through space and time, and we have scientific evidence and theoretical science to prove that this might be possible. But guess what? It doesn't matter, because the Lord has spoken it into existence that Jacob, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right, shall have the birthright. You see? That it was promised to them. And there's nothing you could do against that. No matter how much wealth you gather in the world or schemes and witchcraft you put upon our people, you will never receive the birthright. You see? It says, surely as I have thought, so shall it come to pass. As I have purposed, so shall it stand. You see, so the Most High has determined time. Time is already set in stone. That's why the scriptures tell you the end was declared from the beginning. Time is not like a thing that is being created every day. It's like a set racetrack. You go to a racetrack, it's a full circle, it's a set racetrack, and we're just running out the race. It's not a racetrack that is being built, if you will, every day. Let me see if I can find it. It's in the book of Lamentations. It's in the book of Lamentations. Let me see if I can find it. Let me just see real quick. Who is he that saith it cometh to pass if the Most High commanded it not? Okay, Lamentations 3 and 37. Lamentations 3 and 37. Let's go to it. Yeah, so this devil is trying all types of things, and there's nothing we can rule out. This devil is so proud that he's going to be the first nation to fight against the Most High himself. So the Most High must have given him some sort of great technology or some sort of things that we don't even know about that has, made him think that he has a fighting chance. So who knows, man? Who knows? Antimatter guns. Who knows what the so-called white man got in secret, man? But whatever it is, the Most High didn't give him some sort of weapon to think that he has a fighting chance. And the scriptures tell you at the end of the day, they shall be afraid, yet there is fight. It's written in our law, right? When we go to conquer a place, in the book of Deuteronomy 20th chapter, concerning war, when you go to conquer a place, if they yield or submit, they become tributaries. You don't destroy them. But if they fight, then you have license to pillage. So that right there is heavy, because let's say they were afraid and submitted and yield, then by law they'll just be tributaries. But the Lord doesn't want it to play out like that. The Lord wants them to fight. So the Lord is going to put the spirit of them to fight and give Yahweh Shai the lawful right to siege these heathens. You see? So that right there shows you that there's no will, there's no nothing you can do to escape what the Most High has already set in stone. Lamentations 3 and 37 reads, who is he that saith, and it cometh to pass when the Lord commanded it not? See? So who's this devil to say, we could work on particles and bombard them and open up wormholes and go in time and get our birthright back? Who is he that's saying that if the Most High commanded is not? You can't bring something to pass. But that shows you the God complex of the so-called white man. He's trying to do everything like the Most High. This is how come you got cars now. You could turn your car on with soon your voice. Hey, turn on. Hey, talking to your phone. Hey, turn on my car, and it'll turn on. Because when you go into the beginning of Genesis, let there be light. Let there be this. Everything was done telepathically. And the so-called white man is mimicking that in the terms of everything is wireless. You could turn your vehicle on from another country with an app. You see? They're trying to mimic the ways of the Lord. And soon, ultimately, through transhumanism, they're going to tie the chip, which will be in your brain or your right hand, to the things that you see around you. So you're going to be able to pick up groceries, buy, selling things, and just everything should be done digitally. Turn on your phone, lock your home and all that shit by just speaking to your hand. Telling your hand, hey, lock my home, hey, lock the doors. With smart homes and that's the future that the so-called white man has envisioned for himself. But again, if the Most High commands something, then it just has to happen. So you devils out there that's trying whatever you can, the Lord said, look, if you could count the whole stars, then will I do away with Israel. And the so-called white man literally is out there trying to fucking number the stars, man. So they're trying everything to get that right, to defy the Lord. But you and the Most High's trick back. The Most High is infallible, you see? And his ways shall reign supreme, and his prophecies shall reign supreme. And that's the point of the lesson. There ain't shit you could do, all right, to get the birthright back, because it was given to Jacob. All your ass have to do, okay, is sit tight and wait for slavery. That's it. That's all, folks. So, with that, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Chakodash. I'm going to say double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, which rule well. And of course, salutation to the hopeful elect out there. You Akim to Sadakim that do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. All right, brothers. Shalom.